Hi guys, and welcome along. This is a little bit different to what we usually have. This is a rush job that's just come in from a mate of mine who has a mechanics shop, and a customer brought in a vehicle they just bought second hand, and well, they may have had it for a few weeks, but they noticed there's an issue with one of the tail lights, and this is one of the newer vehicles with the LED tail lights, and this one you're gonna see is doing some weird stuff, but only on one light on one side. So I said to him, yeah, why not? Let's have a look at it. It's got to be cheaper than buying a new one. So guys, grab yourself a drink, a few snacks, and that comfy chair, and let's have a look at this thing. Okay guys, so I'm just going to go through and start taking the screws out of this thing. They're not very good. Mind you, this is mass produced, so I wouldn't expect them to be very good. So we've got something a little bit smaller. Now I was looking at this and I was sort of thinking something doesn't look quite right with the amount of screws, and down here underneath, no, it's a hole. I was going to say they've probably hidden another screw. No, that can go back over that. So that was just sealing up a hole. It's the exact same one as on this side that had a screw in it. And I thought, yeah, they'll probably put another one in there, but they've obviously changed it up over there. Now, there's no others that I can see. It's hard to say because there's like rubberized stuff all over the place in this thing. And I don't know if there's anything else that's holding this together. I'll pop this resistor off. Get that out of the way so it's not being a pain in the backside. And now I'm just going to try and find out how to open it. And it looks like it's actually sealed. So that would be probably on the cards. It's some sort of a Celastic seal for this. So we're going to have to get some of that to reseal it back up again. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to need to do, is go around and cut all this Celastic out. Alright, so you don't need to see me doing this, so I will come back to you when I've got this all cut off. So it's giving up a fight. I'm picking that the way they've glued this is it's glued around this part, and it's also glued on the other side of this ridge that goes around it. So what I've done is I've broken out my kit of spudges that came with my other screwdriver set, which was this one. There's some more in there as well, and it has all those sorts of spudges and that in it as well. And I've got those out, and what they're doing is putting pressure on it as I'm going around, and I'm hopefully get enough on it to break the seal for it to come away, or for part of it to come away, and then I can gently get in and pry it off. I have been using a bit of heat on here too. doesn't seem to be doing a hell of a lot, because this is actually a vulcanized type rubber. Not exactly what type they use, or sure what type they use, but I will gently just do it. And as I say, I'm just using the knife, cutting the rubber out, and then when I get a big enough gap, I'll stick the end of this in to hold it, and if I get a big enough gap, I'll put it sideways. And as I go along, when I get more room, then I'll drop these spudges in, just to add that bit of pressure as I'm going around. Alright, so that was just a bit of an update. So I'll carry on with this, and we'll see if we can get this open. I'm trying to do it without breaking it. It's not the be all end all. He said if we can't fix it, they'll just have to get another one and wear the cost on it. So I would like to get it open and see what the problem is. I'm picking it's probably something fairly easy, and whether it's a resistor or a capacitor or a corroded link or something, I don't know, or even an LED on its way out. So anyway guys, I will carry on with this, and we'll come back to it hopefully if I get it open. If I don't get it open, we'll come back and have a talk about what happened. Alrighty, I'll see you soon. Okay guys, after a lot of spudges, 2 knives, hot air, and a lot of swearing, I finally got it off. And the way it was siliconed on, it was around here, but it was also around this top piece here as well, as I thought, and that's what was sucking the whole thing right down. And I understand, looking at the size of it, they need to try and make them waterproof. So that's off. So this is our light, and this has all the LEDs in it. So this is the unit that has all our LEDs in. And so what I'm going to do, this is the one here that we have an issue with. So looks like they're only hot glued in. It's just like, really? But anyway, I'm going to undo the clips and take this lot out, and then we can have the light separate. And then what I'm going to do is just, with the bench power supply, I'm just going to slowly put a voltage in so I can get this light to come on. Now I know these other ones all worked fine. It was just the main park light that was pulsing. So I'm going to check it and see if it's the light, if it's something on this, because this is just hot glued in. So hopefully we can get this off without too much drama. So I'm going to do that. Alrighty, so I'll put my eyes on and I'll unplug all this, and then we'll have a look and see where we are. And the good thing is they're all colour coded except for this one had to be soldered on, didn't it? Yeah, they couldn't put a plug on that one. Those can stay on there, they can stay on there, that one can come out, and also the white one had to be soldered in too. Half a job, I tell you. Well, suppose that one's easy enough to desolder. That one, how are we on the board? Yeah, they can both be desoldered off the board. But I'm thinking, I'll just check I want to check this to see if it's on here or whether it's going to be on this board. So I'll get me power connectors and I will see if I can sort out a plug for that. Probably have something I can bodge up to get in there to give us some power, and we'll go from there. Alright, I'll be back shortly. Okay guys, so I just worked out that these JST XH connectors will fit on that plug. I'm not the right one for it, but it will fit, which makes it easier than trying to bodge it somehow. So I'm just going to make up a power connector on here and crimp these two plugs on, put them into this holder, plug it in, and then we should be right to test it. I know it's a lot of mucking around, but the thing is I want a good connection and I don't want to damage this. What we'll do is we'll lay you off. Come on. And I'll get the crimp out and I'll crimp these up. I'm thinking I will also tin the ends of these wires, because the problem being is that they'll pull out sometimes. So I'll do all that and then we'll be back to it. Okay guys, so I've got the plug on there. It was a bit of dicking around to get it on, not being quite the right fit, and I had to muck around to get the other connector on. So I've turned the voltage right down, and I'll tell you what the voltages are as I'm turning it up. So I've turned it on and we're at 0 volts. So now we're just slowly increasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should run at around about anywhere from 7 volts upwards. 6, 7, just starting to light in the middle. I'll turn this other light off for you. You can just see it's just starting to glow. It's missing a piece here. This isn't working and that isn't working. So that's at 7.2. So we'll turn the voltage up a little bit. You can see it's getting brighter. We're at 8. Now there's one down here starting to flash a little bit. So we're up to 8.7. We get to 9.5 volts, and now this one here is flashing away. And this is what they were talking about, and now it's on, now it's off. And so that tells me that there's something wrong with this LED strip. So, and these will be little wee surface mount LEDs, so I'm going to have to see how I go. Hopefully it might be 1 or 2 LEDs that have gone in it, and we can replace them and carry on. I'll have to see if I've got any surface mount. I'm not sure I do, but I do have some 3mm or 2.5, maybe even 1.8mm LEDs that we can probably put in here. And this is coming on and off, so it is actually this. So I will have to try and take this off. Now this is hot glued on here and up the top here. Anywhere else I don't know, so I will have to have a look and see how I can get this off. It's still, because these other two are soldered, it's still attached on here. So what I'll do is I'll come back to you when I can get this off. Once we can get this off, then we can work with it separately to find out what the issue is. Alright, so I'll be back to you soon. Okay guys, so I've got it hooked up onto here. The only two I've got going is this one and this one. The others are either intermittent or not going. And I'm just going through with the multimeter and I'm just checking which diodes are working and which are not. The ones that are not, I'm just putting a white dot on it. So I'll pop this off because I'm not using the benchtop power supply at the moment. I'll pop those off and get those out of the way. And so the left hand side is negative, the right hand side is positive. So they go in groups of 4. And so that should be 1. That one's okay. Okay. That one's not. That one's okay. So we'll mark that one. And I'm just whiting the top on it so I know which one it is. Okay. 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 That one's not, that one's okay. Okay. That one's not. That one's okay, so that one there. Some of these might be just a bad connection on them. Not this one. I'll put that one too, because it sort of wants to and doesn't want to. It could be one that's a little bit flaky. That's right. Okay. That's okay. Okay. Yep. This one's all okay. Right, so I'm just going to go down the rest of this now, and a quick check to make sure this is all working is what I can do is pull these dead LEDs off and just put a bridge across them, a wire, just a bridged wire across them, and see if they all come on. And then if they all come on, then I know that's just those ones I've got to replace, and then I just need to have a look to see what I've got. I don't have any of these surface mounts, so I'll need to find out how urgent this is, and I will have to either buy some locally or get some on. Right. So we got a few faulties in there. We got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 LEDs on that have gone. So, as I said, they're going to need to be replaced. They need to come off anyway. So, and they're all polarity the one way, so that's all cool. So I will heat those up, pop all those off, and I don't know. I've got some 1.8mm. The only thing is I don't know if they're going to be bright enough. So, and to get some of these in is going to be a couple of weeks, 2 maybe 3 at this time of year. I will see what he wants to do. If he's going to order a new one, we could always do this as a spare and get it repaired for him. I will see what he wants to do. Looks like there's a bit of room because these wires poke through. Looks like there'll be a little bit of room, but I'm just worried about how bright they are compared to these. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I will contact him and see what he wants to do, and we'll go from there, I think. If he can put up with the odd light that's out, then yeah, it's just going to look a bit funny. No, I'll find out what he wants to do, I think. Alright guys, so I will find out from him, and we'll go on from there. Alrighty, see you soon. Hey guys, so parts have arrived for the tail light. So I've got them there. I went through the unit and found there's 11 LED diodes that had died. Now these are what I didn't have on hand. They were a funny size, 2835 I think they were, something like that. I'll put it up on screen during the video. But anyway, these are here now, and I'm going to get on and solder these in, see if this works, and then if it works, put it all back together and drop it back to them. Alright, so I'm about to get on with it. So guys, here's the tail light unit, and as I said, there's quite a few missing off this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 missing. Sorry, I had that wrong. So, yeah, went on AliExpress and bought them in a roll. And that's 100 in a roll, and it was like about $9, I think, for 100 pieces. And they're 35 by 28s are what they are. And so they come in a long strip like this. So I'm going to go along with me fine tip soldering iron and just solder all these in. And then once I've done that, then I'll connect power up to here or on the board and check them, because they are in groups. So I should be able to just check the diodes as I go. And that's how I found all the faulty ones. I went through with the multimeter on diode mode, and I went through and tested each one to find out which ones are the ones that were faulty. So I don't know if I'm going to use my big soldering iron or whether I'll use the little battery operated one, because the battery operated one's got a tinier tip on it. I can put a smaller tip on my big one, which might be a way to do it, because I'm just worried about the battery running out on the other one. So I think I might do that. I might dig out my other tips, change it over, and put the small tip on my big iron. Alright, so I'll come back to it once I've done this. Well guys, so I've replaced all the LEDs and a few more. There's about another 5 that decided they were going to start to play up and fall over, so I've replaced those. And just to show you, it's only sitting on about 7 volts, but these do drop down too. They'll go from 12 volts down. So as you can see, all the LEDs are going now. There's nothing that's flashing, strobing on and off. I did around here, this is where I found the last LED that was faulty, and put another one on. But as you can see, it's working fine. Now a lot of you might turn around and say, hey, well, why did you do it? Well, when you have a look at these online, these are aftermarket tail lights, and they're not small. I mean, this is the unit that it goes into in the back here. So these are not small units, these are large. And this is off I think it was a Toyota or a Ford or something, one of the newer type trucks that they have. You can only buy these in pairs. You can't buy them individually, and you just can't buy the indicator unit individually. So what happens is it's near on $1,000 plus for a pair of tail lights. Now unfortunately the customer didn't want to wait the 2 weeks for the LEDs to come in. Otherwise it would have been a lot cheaper to be done. He probably would have been looking about $150 all up with labour, putting the tail light back together and gluing it all up and making sure it was leak proof and the rest of it with parts. So he'd be looking at about $150. But he decided, no, we'll get a new tail light, so they had to buy a pair of them. Anyway, that's the thing. Sometimes you just got to take it on the nose a wee bit for it to be more cost effective. Well guys, there we go. I'm just going to leave the tail light soaking, as I call it, just with the power on to make sure none of the other LEDs decide to fail and that before I put it back together. So I'm going to let it run for about a half an hour, and I'll vary the brightnesses around. It is just the tail light, so it's not hugely bright. So I'm going to leave that there. So this is another one fixed and done, and we're ready to go back to the garage. So I've just got to pop down there and grab. They needed the harness assembly for putting the new ones in to make sure the wiring was exactly the same. So I've just got to zap down and grab that, and that's the backing piece that goes onto this that has the other electronics that solder to it, and that the tail light units solders to as well after it's glued in. And you pay big money for these guys. Hot glued. Whole bloody thing is hot glued in. After they screw these plastic frames in, which gives you the diffuser that you get on the white, the rest of it's all just bloody hot glued in. It's like, what are you paying for? A name. Anyway, guys, that's another one done and dusted. Hopefully you liked it. It's a bit different. And, yeah, we'll look for the next one. So, as I always say, have a great day. Have a great week. And Christmas is coming. It's not far away. Have a merry, merry Christmas to you and all your family. And from me, ciao.